Hey everyone, hope you're all doing well. Hope you're enjoying your book or whatever else you're reading. The book today is called Sisters in Science: How Four Women Physicists Escaped Nazi Germany and Made Scientific History by Olivia Campbell. She wrote a previous book called Women in White Coats. I do not know what that is about, but I imagine it's about women in science, in the sciences. Probably lab or doctors, I'm not sure. But anyways, this book came out in 2024. So it's a relatively recent book. It's within 2 years, I think. I'm not sure. I'll have to I can check the date on this for people that are interested. Came out in December of 2024. So it's still fairly recent. It's within 2 years. I wouldn't call it a new release. It's probably on the back list already. But in her backlist, no, it's probably her most recent book. I'll read the flaps and I'll give you my rating and review about the book. The extraordinary true story of four women pioneers in physics during World War II and their daring escape out of Nazi Germany. In the 1930s, Germany was a hotbed of scientific thought. But after the Nazis took power, Jewish and female citizens were forced out of their academic positions. Hedwig Kohn, Lise Meitner, Hertha Spooner, and Hildegard Strucklin were eminent in their fields. But they had no choice but to flee due to their Jewish ancestry or anti-Nazi sentiments. Their harrowing journey out of Germany became a life and death situation that required Herculean efforts of friends and other prominent scientists. Lise fled to Sweden, where she made a groundbreaking discovery in nuclear physics, and the others fled to the United States, where they brought advanced physics to American universities. No matter their destination, each woman revolutionized the field of physics when all odds were stacked against them, galvanizing young women to do the same. I gave this book 4.5. Very good book, very well researched for its length, despite its length. Because it's a fairly, it says 384, but I would say about a good 50 pages are taken up with this type of stuff. So I'm going to ignore that. It's about 330. And the actual text is about 340 pages. So it's a pretty good, decent length. I really enjoyed it. I found it very fascinating. The groundbreaking discovery, if you want to know what Lise Meitner found, was fission. But it had to go to her nephew. Yeah, unfortunately. Such were the attitudes of the day. A woman makes a great discovery and man has to get credit for it. And I can't remember her but she did eventually. I don't know if she's gotten credit for fission. I'm gonna double check that right now. While I'm thinking about it. I really quite enjoyed it. I thought that she she was instrumental in the discovery of nuclear fission. Her nephew was Otto Frisch, who was he was well known for his he and somebody else got credit for it, but she actually helped with the advancement of the of this of finding the or advancing the first theoretical explanation of nuclear fission, basically coining the term, what was happening, and worked at Los Alamos with Oppenheimer. Sorry, brain went fuzzy there, but sorry about that. But yeah, I really quite enjoyed it. I thought it was a very fascinating read, and it was of course all these stories are now going to come out, and I think it's very interesting that that we've never heard of these, really haven't heard of these women who contributed greatly to physics. I really quite liked it. Very fascinating story. I don't know if I wanted it to run a little faster. I think it could have, but I felt sometimes it got bogged down in the details a little bit. But nevertheless, I really quite enjoyed it, and I found it quite fascinating and quite intriguing when I was reading it. And I so desperately wanted to make notes along the way while I read it. It's a library book, sadly, so I couldn't do that, and I didn't want to ruin my momentum. Sometimes I don't want to ruin my momentum when reading a book, and sometimes then I lose the thought. It was one interesting point that the author made about the number of physicists in Germany. She said the number of Jewish physicists was quite substantial in Germany before the 1930s, and then by the end of the war, I think there was like a third of them left. I think that's what she said. I can't remember. It went down quite substantial. The Jewish community clearly had a large role in the academic role in Germany at that time. So that was Sisters in Science, how four women physicists escaped Nazi Germany and made scientific history. I think it could have been female physicists. Been better off the time. But anyways, I gave that a 4.5. If you like what you heard today, please like and subscribe to this channel. I would greatly appreciate it. You can do it down below with the subscribe button. You can even do subscribe all, which notifies you when I post new video reviews like this. Sometimes, most of the time lately, I've been doing them in bulk, and I apologize for that. Just because I keep forgetting sometimes. And if you wish to support me financially, you can buy this book and others that I have reviewed on this blog through bookshop.org. Remember that only if you have a UK or a US address may receive them. So if you're in Canada and live near the border and use a postal service like Ship Happens, which gives you a US address, you can actually do that, and you can support a local bookstore in the area. Or not in your area, but if you're in the States, you can support one in your local area, or one that you know from a podcast, like the podcast featured from the front porch. You can do, or any other independent bookstore in the United States or the UK. I don't know why they haven't done Canada, because there are a number of local bookstores I would like to support through that. Anyways, I look forward to talking to you soon, and bye for now, and happy reading.